سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا وإن الله لمع المحسنين. صدق الله العظيم. If we look at the ibadahs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us as believers, as people of Iman to perform, we will realize that there are two different types of ibadahs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to perform. Number one, the ibadah where we have to do something. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would ask us, you must do this. And the other type of ibadah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to stay away from things, not to do things. These are two different types of ibadah. Do's and don'ts. The main ibadah of the month of Ramadan, which is fasting, is mainly don'ts. Don't do all of these things because you are fasting. Which simply means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us how to control our nafs, our desires, from doing things that normally are halal for us to do. Normal situations, these things are halal for us, that are forbidden for us to do during fasting. Through this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us a very important lesson, and that is how to control our nafs. How to learn, we need to learn to say no to our nafs. Our nafs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created within us, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. This nafs that we have within us normally tries to do two things. Number one, will try to make us follow desires. It won't be wrong to say that this nafs is a container of desires. Is a container that is full of desires. Hopes and desires are filled in our nafs, and they just keep on popping up one after another. And if we start fulfilling these desires, there are so many of them that keep on coming up. Just like we may say, it's just like a can of worms, that as soon as you open the can, there are so many worms in it. It's full of worms. They're popping up they're coming up, jumping out from this can, from everywhere. And you try to count them, they're such a large number that you can't even count these worms. There are millions of them in there. Our nafs is just can of desires, can of worms. These worms are desires. And as soon as we open the doors towards the desires, they just keep on opening up one after another, one after another. Endless story that goes within our souls, and we all know it. But this is the main thing the nafs would like to do, and that is open up these doors, open up these cans, so that we keep on running after desires. Imagine if a person is just running after these worms and trying to feed each and every worm that comes out of the can, trying to take care of all of these worms. How useless of a life this person would be spending. And for how long do you think this person would be able to take care of all of these worms? when we try to satisfy our desires, the life becomes totally useless. And finally, it comes to a stage in a person's life where a person, when he looks back, we realize, I spent the whole life doing nothing but feeding these worms. And each time I fed the worms, there are a million more, and the one that I fed, there is still telling me we are not satisfied. The one that we feed, they tell us we are not satisfied, and there are millions more that are still complaining that you did not feed us yet. But this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this nafs. The very same feeling of having more, which we may call it greediness, the very same feeling can be switched to good things, and then we will always be looking forward to do something good. But initially our nafs is put in such a programming that it always would like to go behind desires and follow desires. Before going further with this, so that I don't forget, I said there are two things that nafs would like us to do and would make us do normally. One is keep us away, one is make us follow desires. Always bring up new desires, and we feel that this is the only one, let me run after it, and let me just satisfy this one. The second thing the nafs would like to do is keep us away from the ta'at, from the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what nafs like to do. And for that, nafs will try to bring every excuse, every reason, sometimes such valid reasons that you have no answer to that reason really. There is no way you can say no to these reasons. If you want to reason with it, with your nafs, there is no way you are going to win. You want to do something good, this nafs will come up and will tell you, I know that this is good. This is perfect. But for a person like you, you should be doing something better than this. It's a shame that you do only this much. You must be doing much better than this. And in order to do something better than this, at this time, don't do it. Do it later on when you do it, when you're able to do it in a much better way. We'll bring all kind of reasons. How many people we find, they don't go to the masjid. What is the reason? The person doesn't like the president of the masjid, doesn't like the imam of the masjid, doesn't like something or someone in the masjid. And now his nafs is telling him, what is the reason for you to go to the masjid if you don't like this person? As if this person was going to masjid only because he likes certain people, and if he won't like those people, then he won't go to the masjid. But sometimes reasoning comes up so strong. Sometimes we want to harm someone. Why? This person, mashallah, to his understanding, very virtuous, very great person. But he wants to harm someone. Why does he want to harm someone? Because the nafs have given him such important reason, valid reasons, that by harming this person, you are helping the ummah. You are helping the deen. You are benefiting the deen. This person always he's harming the people of deen or something like this, whatever that reasoning might be. The point is that we need to understand this nafs will try to make us do two things. One is, will make us go behind desires, follow desires. And number two, will keep us away from the ta'at, from the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many times we feel that we are very tired at this time. I would really love to perform Salat al-Tahajjud, but tonight I'm very tired. Let me have some rest, and then I will get up and do Salat al-Tahajjud. And we know for sure we are not getting up. And I think I'm even making these examples or coming up with these examples that are a little exaggerated in being good. Otherwise, for people in my level, I was just trying to make up some better example for your level, but for people in my level, you go home and you feel that you're so tired and you haven't done Salatul Isha yet. Forget about Tahajjud. We haven't done Salatul Isha. Let me eat first and then I will do Isha. After dinner, I'm so sleepy, so tired that I can't do it. And I don't think it's good to do Isha in this situation when you're so tired, I won't even be able to concentrate. Let me have a rest for 1 or 2 hours, then I will get up and do Salatul Isha. Up to this day, have we ever woke up after 2 hours to do something good? But today he's saying to himself that I will do Salatul Isha after 2 hours. He knows what will happen, and this is exactly what happens. The person wakes up next morning to find out he have missed Salatul Fajr. Oh, inna lillah. My plan was to do it after 2 hours and I will wake up and do it, but I couldn't wake up. As if there was something new in his life and he really expected and he thought that he would wake up. What was that? It was the reasoning from the nafs. The only reason I'm mentioning this so we can understand that when the nafs comes to us, when the nafs works on us and works with us, it really never makes us feel that we are doing anything wrong or anything bad. It's still, I'm as good as I was before. In fact, I'm better than I was before. See, I had firm intention that I will wake up for Isha. It's not, I never thought and I never wanted to miss Salatul Isha. And then when I woke up for Salatul Fajr, I also realized that I missed Salatul Isha and I felt bad about it. See how virtuous I am? I'm very virtuous. I'm not like one of those people who miss the Salah and doesn't even feel. I'm very virtuous. See how bad I felt when I missed Salatul Isha? This is the sign of my great Iman. Still I'm virtuous, as I said. Now I'm even better than I was before missing Salatul Isha. The nafs never makes us feel that we have done anything wrong in our life. And this starts from childhood, goes all the way to the old age, and then until the person has departed the world. In the childhood, we do certain things that we feel, no, this is the way of doing it. There is no better way, there is no other way. All the elders are trying to explain to you that, no, look, this is bad, this is wrong. But the child doesn't understand. If today we gather all the children and give them as long as a lecture as we can with the best examples available in the world to make them understand that when you think something is good and the elders are saying is not good, then that simply means it's not good. Give them long lectures, best examples. After half an hour when they are left, and now they feel that this is something good, and all of us will try to explain to them, this is not good, he may not understand it. He will still feel this is good, but it's still, because my parents they always oppose me, and all of these people because they don't like me. How many times we hear the young children, they're saying, yeah, but you don't understand what I'm trying to say. You are not in my age to understand me. These people, they came from other parts of the world. They came from back home, and they don't know what this atmosphere is all over here. So they don't understand really. This is the feeling. Okay, we grew up. As the person now is in his youth, he looks back and he looks at those things that he was stubborn about, and he always felt himself to be correct, and he feels that was childish. Yes, I know I was wrong. It was childish. At this time, I understand. Now I really can understand. This is why I can see those things and I feel that those were childish things. And I should have not done that. But of course, as a child, I did it. But now I really understand. Now people that are older than him, when they try to explain to him that what you're doing at this time is wrong, he feels no. Now I understand what I'm doing. And this continues for a certain age. After the person turns into his 40s, balagha ashuddahu, normally people get their understanding at the age of 40. So after that age, when this person looks back, realizes that what those people were telling me was correct. But again, the point is, now I understand it. Now I can understand this. And now at this time, when others are trying to explain to him what you're doing now is wrong, he feels, no, now I know what I'm doing. What is all of this? This is all nafs, from childhood till this age, and now in the old age, there is no way that this person will ever think of changing. This is nafs. Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam, the main thing they worked on was our nafs. They taught us how to control this nafs from misleading us. This nafs has many different ways that it attacks us. But as I said, main things are two. These are the two main things where the nafs would try to work, and then we'll use many other ways that I won't go into the details of it at this time, some other time inshallah. But these are the main two avenues. One is follow the desires. Number two, stay away from ta'at, from doing the good deeds. How? As I said, many different ways, and in most of the ways would be such where the person would feel that now I'm getting better. I'm doing better than I was, whereas this person is still going back to what he was doing in the childhood. Same thing, continuing to be in the same line of following the desires and following the nafs and staying away from the ta'at, but never realizes. This is the worst problem with following the nafs. And this is why all the time the scholars of Islam, whether they were muhaddiseen, mufassirin, fuqaha, sufiya, whoever they were, they always gave this thing, the whole topic that we are talking about, they gave it a title. And that is, they used to call it ibadatul nafs, being the slave of the nafs. Islam teaches us how to be the slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not the slaves of the nafs. And when the person does not learn the deen of Allah, regardless of how wise, how intelligent the person is, it's always the person is the slave of himself. The slave of his own nafs. Simply means the slave of his own desires. Today in the world, you always hear the word, we need freedom. People are looking for freedom. Freedom from what? Oh, we would like to free the women. Freedom from what? If you really look at this word freedom, we will realize that they don't want freedom from the culture. They don't want freedom from their desires. The only thing they want is freedom from the deen, so that we don't follow the deen. That's it. That is the only freedom they're looking for. In simple words, this slavery of the nafs, being the slave of the nafs, is getting so deep now, getting so much, we are getting so much used to it, that people are really taking this as a deen by itself. And anything that will oppose this, anything that will oppose it, they will consider that as the worst challenge to themselves. That is there anything that is telling us we must not follow our desires? Then we must oppose that. Because now there is a slavery of nafs. Everyone is a slave of the nafs. Beards really hurt a lot of people. It doesn't hurt them only having it on their faces, it hurts them seeing it on the faces of others too. Why it hurts them? Wal-a'yāzu billah, as I said, sometime when a person runs after reasoning, you find people who are considered to be Muslims, they, wal-a'yāzu billah, may use the word cleanliness, as if taking it off is cleanliness and keeping this is dirt, wal-a'yāzu billah. Which simply, wal-a'yāzu billah, it goes back too far away, and that is all the Anbiya alayhimu salatu wassalam. But when the person is following the nafs, has gone so far now, that he feels, really, I have heard it from people. People who are considering themselves to be Muslims. And he is even better Muslim by shaving because Islam loves cleanliness and he is very clean. This is nafs. This is what I was saying. I mean, how far can we go with these examples? What is all of this? It's all nafs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala therefore tells us in Quran, أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ. Have you seen a person who has chosen his desires to be his Lord? Have you ever seen a person who has taken his desires to be his Lord? Who is that person? I don't know if you have seen that person, but when I read this ayah and look into my heart, I find that person in there. Whenever we had something, we always thought, I want something better than this. Never stopped at any level. These are desires. As I said, we are opening just a can of worms to ourselves, and that is fulfilling one desire. Try to feed it. Try to keep on feeding these worms, and they're just increasing, and the ones that are fed, they are saying we are not satisfied. With what we have at this time, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with the ni'mas that we have at this time, we are not satisfied, we need better. And the ones that we don't have, we are always looking up to them. No end to it. And not only regarding the dunya, not only regarding that. This is our nafs, wants everything. Our nafs would like to have everything. And therefore, whatever we have, we are always looking for something more and more and more. As I said, Anbiya alayhimu salatu wassalam, their main message was, learn how to control your nafs. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, normally we hear the word that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam worked on Iman for 13 years in Makkah Mukarramah, and then 10 years in Medina Munawwara, the ibadat came. Yes, it's true that he worked on Iman for 13 years, but what does this Iman mean? Does it mean for a period of 13 years he was just teaching aqa'id, beliefs? Try to make a list of those beliefs. What are those? How long of a list can we make of aqa'id, of beliefs? It won't be too long. See, the books that are written about aqa'id, they are very thin books. Books that are written about ibadah, 10 years in Medina, they are very detailed. So 13 years, these aqa'id and these beliefs, what does that mean? If we look at the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we will realize that when we say that 13 years he taught aqa'id and belief, this simply means over those 13 years he was teaching the ummah how to make room in the heart for these beliefs and accept these beliefs, which simply goes back to the same thing, and that is how to control our nafs. How to keep our nafs under control so that this nafs will understand what is right and what is wrong. That will be the control over the nafs. So the nafs will understand what is right and what is wrong. Creating the ability in this nafs to distinguish between the haqq and batil. And whenever we see the haqq, accept the haqq right away. As soon as we know that this is batil, have the ability of rejecting it right away. No second thought to that. We have to think 100 times. Why do we have to think so much? The only reason is because nafs is giving us reasoning and we are trying to reason with the nafs. And at the end we feel that I'm doing what's right, not realizing that maybe we are following the nafs, because after reasoning with the nafs, at the end, the ending result will be that you lost. After reasoning with the nafs, always remember, the ending result is we lost. So, the only way is learn how to say no to this nafs. The nafs says do this, no. That's it. These are the benefits, no. That's it. No more reasoning. These are the benefits, or this is the importance. I'm not asking for this. I said no. This is what fasting is teaching us. Eat? No. Hungry? I still no. It's only 1 minute before ghurub. 1 minute before the ghurub. Now what's wrong in eating? You started fasting 10 minutes earlier. So, can we finish it 10 minutes earlier? No. Why not? Give a reason. It's mainly to teach ourselves, no, that's it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is when I'm going to break the fast, this is when I will break the fast. That's it. Other than that, no, I'm not doing it. This is how Sharia is teaching us how to control our nafs. And it's extremely important for us not to just limit ourselves to this fasting and things that are not allowed during fasting. We take this lesson of the Sharia. This is the main spirit behind it. This is the main ruh of the fasting. Learn how to control our nafs and say no to our nafs. And on the other hand, learn how to do the ibadahs, how to do the ta'at of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Learn the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Force ourselves to the ta'at. When we say no to nafs, when we keep the desires away, it will be easy for us to do something that we were not doing before. Because now we are involved in the desires so much that these desires are keeping us away from the ta'at. But once we learn how to keep the desires away, then getting into the ta'at, into the obedience will become easy. I really have no words to emphasize on the importance of this control of the nafs, of saying no to the desires and forcing our souls to do the ta'at. How many times we try to explain to the children that, look, It's not good to keep the room so dirty. Look at your room, how dirty it is. And you look at the things that are there, ask him, why did you throw this paper over here? Oh, I was laying on the bed and I was so tired to get up, and now he tried to throw it to the garbage can, and around the garbage can there's so much garbage around the garbage can. We all know ourselves. Where is it all of that from? It's sitting on his bed or on his couch or on his chair, and he would like to just throw it to the garbage can. Because it's lazy to get up and throw it into the can. We may try to explain to this young person, young man, look, this is bad, you should get up. That's only laziness, nothing beside laziness that is stopping you from putting it into the garbage can. How much it will take you? I mean, it will take only 2 seconds to get up from here to there. But, again, now we are at the age that when we are told, when we are not doing the 2 rak'ahs before we go to sleep, when we are missing our salah, when we are missing the sunnahs, or when we are not doing the nawafil after the sunnahs, it's only laziness, nothing beside that. It's only that I'm tired right now, so let me go and do something and have a little rest and then I will do it. No, tell it, I'll get up and do it, that's it. It's that easy. It's that easy. But as I said, at certain age we are trying to explain to the children, look, this is bad. Then to the youth. And then to certain, we turn into another age. But at every age, we are making the same mistake. We are making the exact same mistake, repeating the same mistake over and over, and we never would like to change. The reason? Never learned how to control our nafs. That's the main reason. If we won't learn it, once we turn away from this world and go to the next world, when we look back, we will realize how childish these things were. Just like I said, childhood, when we grow, youth looks at the childhood and sees, no, those were childish. But as a youth, he feels now he knows what he's doing. Then in the old age, he thinks that these youth, they don't know what they're doing. Not realizing that now even in the old age, he may not know what he's doing because he never learned how to control his nafs up to this day. And once he would die, now he's going to look back and realize, even in the old age, I was doing everything wrong. I was following the same pattern and the same way as I was doing in the childhood. No changes. No changes. Let me just end it with this beautiful hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when a sahabi who was serving Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam during the night time, he spent some nights bringing the water for wudu. One of these nights, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was so happy, was so pleased with his service, that he said to him, ask me for whatever you need. He said, Ya Rasulullah, the only desire I have is, أسألك مرافقتك في الجنة. Subhanallah, look at the pure nafs. No worldly desires. أسألك مرافقتك في الجنة. I ask you to be with you in Jannah. This is what I need, Ya Rasulullah. You ask me to ask you for anything I want, this is what I want. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked him, أَوَ غَيْرَ ذَلِكَ? Would you like something else? Something different? Subhanallah, for me it's another opportunity now. So I asked, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. I asked for that, let me ask for this now. No. The Sahabi says, هُوَ ذَاكَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. This is it, Ya Rasulullah. That's it, Ya Rasulullah. That's the only desire I have in my heart. Subhanallah, what a pure heart. What a pure nafs. That desires only this. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says to him, okay, I will get you that, but I need your help. أَعِنِّي عَلَى نَفْسِكَ بِكَثْرَةِ السُّجُودِ. Help me against your nafs by doing a lot of sujood. Your nafs will not accept a lot of sujood. Your nafs will tell you, let me do something else. Help me against your nafs by doing a lot of sujood, which means a lot of salah. Because sajda is something, the more sujood, the closer the person is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Last ayah of Surah Al-Alaq. Do the sajda and get closer to Allah. Keep on doing the sujood and keep on getting closer to Allah. because that will break the nafs. Breaking the nafs will get us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to be able to control our desires and follow the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, follow the ahkam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the orders of Allah, and always be in the ta'at and the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regardless of how much we have to force our nafs to do this ta'at. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to have the power over this nafs and over all the desires that are coming through the nafs and evils that are coming through the nafs. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to stay away from all the evils. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.